Hi, third graders, and here we are having a video on Monday, February 1st, because it snowed and you guys can't come to school, but we are still going to do our class. And so everything that we would normally do in class on a Monday, we're going to do today, and you're just going to have extra stuff to send me or to bring to me the next Monday that we come in. I know it's a bummer that we can't be in. But if you have an older brother or sister that comes on Wednesday, then why don't you plan to send all your homework in with them? And then if for some reason we're not in on Wednesday, you can just bring it on that Monday. So let's get started. I know it would be a lot more fun to be together, but we are going to invite your parents actually to sit with you and learn about this new concept that we are going to learn in grammar. So without further ado, we are going to start with our grammar part. I know normally we start with spelling, but I'm going to shake things up a bit. I hope you like my pretty roses. I figured since it was February and you start thinking about roses and pink and hearts and all that kind of stuff, that we would get some pretty stuff in our PowerPoint. So I want you to go get your worksheets. I have posted them on Sycamore, so hopefully your moms have printed them out. If they have not, then you probably need to hit pause and have your moms print them out first. Your flashcards are also on Sycamore, so mom can print those out and you can cut them and color your own flashcards and still be cranking along on your spelling words. So if you don't have your worksheet, then you can either ask them to print it out. If that's not possible, then you can write the sentences on your paper until your mom can print it out for you. This is one of the bad things about me having the worksheets, is I have to post them on Sycamore and you have to print them from there. So I do apologize for that. So let's get started. This is our first sentence. So if you have your own sheet of paper, I want you to write this. And if you're going to go get your worksheet, then let's all hit pause and go get your worksheet and then come back and we'll get started. So if you're back, I assume that we are all ready to go, either with the sentence on our own paper or the worksheet. And I hope that some of your moms can join in because we are learning something brand new today. So the first sentence we have is Dad wears a hat. Now, you guys are experts at picking out the subject and verbs, so I seriously doubt that you're going to have a problem here. But we will ask the first question, who wears the hat? And everyone should say Dad. So subject noun is going to go above Dad. Now always remember as we work through this, if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause it. So that's a nice option, is that you can slow things down if you want to. So our next question is, what is Dad doing? And we all know that he's wearing that hat. So we're going to put verb up there. But we are going to add something to our verb. We are going to add T for verb transitive. And I want everybody to say that with me. Verb transitive. Because that's the kind of verb you have for something that's coming up. So we put our VT there. So go ahead and put that in. And then we are going to go to the next one and we're going to ask a new question. And I'm going to ask it and I want you to think about it. So the question is, Dad wears what? And if you can answer the what, then you have a direct object. Now I put D-O up here, but let me just write this down here so that you can see what it looks like, how it's spelled. So we ask the question, Dad wears what? This is a new question for you, so you have to get used to it. He wears a hat, and we put the direct object right up here. Now we learned that a, and the are our article adjectives, so we're going to put our a right there. So please notice hat is a noun. Dad is a noun. We have a couple of nouns in our sentence. We also have more nouns when we have prepositional phrases, but a direct object is also a noun. So here is our complete sentence, and in the blank, notice I've put my slash, and in the blank beside the sentence you would write SNVDO. You're going to put that on the top of the line and pattern 2 check on the bottom of the line. Notice we changed patterns. This is pattern 2. Pattern 1 does not have a direct object. Pattern 2 has a direct object. Okay, let's go to a new one. And this sentence is very, very similar. My dad wears an old faded hat on sunny days. So we've just added some words to this. We're going to ask the same question. Who wears a hat? And it's Dad, and so we're going to put the subject noun right there. Then we are going to ask the question, what is Dad doing? Well, he's wearing, but we're going to add T to that, so don't forget to do that. We're going to put verb transitive. Then we want to ask, Dad wears what? And if we can answer it, we have that direct object. Now we've got all these words in between, and I hope some of you are already thinking about them. So we're going to take a look at these right here. What kind of hat? Well, old, faded. So those are both adjectives because they're hanging out with a noun here. They're telling us that the hat is faded and it's also old. An is an article adjective, so we put the A above it. Now, most of you should have been thinking that my was that one that has all of those words. It's possessive because it belongs to me. It's a pronoun, and it is an adjective. So PPA is what we're going to put above the word my. Then our last thing is to take a look at that last group of words. And I bet you caught that before I did, that on sunny days is a prepositional phrase. And we are going to put a P above on because every prepositional phrase begins with an. I think I heard you guys yelling. And we're going to put OP above days because every prepositional phrase ends with N. I'm sure I heard you guys yelling all across town. But then the word sunny, it's what kind of days, we're going to put adjective. So there's our complete sentence. I'm going to add my T to that. And in the blank, this right beside it, this is what it's going to look like. Subject, noun, verb, direct object, pattern 2 check. And just remember my check mark isn't complete there. And here's the slash between Dad and wears. And both of these sentences were declarative. So those 2 sentences should be filled out on your worksheet. I hope that you will remember what direct objects are because you're supposed to tell your moms about it tomorrow on Tuesday. So you got to remember to be able to tell her the question. Dad wears what? Dad wears a hat. And so when you explain it tomorrow, maybe you want to use the video and have her listen to that. So we'll be working on this whole worksheet throughout the week. We'll be doing some of the exercises together on Wednesday on a video, and then I think maybe we're doing some together on Thursday. So keep it with you, and we will make sure we get it all filled out. All right, now we are going to move to our spelling test for this week, and then I will show you the new spelling words for next week. So I'd like for you to get out a sheet of paper or your spelling book and put number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, just 4. And today, I am going to allow you to ask, these are hard words, so I'm going to allow you to ask your mom for 3 helps. And then your mom is going to check it, and she can let me know, or she can actually just score it on the paper and you can turn it in next week. So remember, you get 3 helps because these are harder words. And so if you don't need the helps, that's great. But if you need some help, then you get to ask your mom 3 times. So hopefully everybody's got their paper out, and hopefully you've put your name on it and spelled your name correctly and put February 1st. It's hard to believe, but that's where we are. Okay, so we are going to begin with Monday. Number 1 is Monday. Remember, if I'm going too fast, just hit pause. Number 2, when you are ready, is president. Number 2 is president. Now think about the sounds. Pres-I-dent. Think about those sounds and write them out. I hope you guys get to go sledding in the snow or make a snowman. Tell you what, if you make a snowman, post the picture on the Facebook. Have your mom post the picture on the Facebook page. How about number 3? February. February. Remember, that one's got an odd way of being spelled. So this one might be where you want to ask your mom. February. And then when you are ready, the last one is George Washington. George Washington. Let me go over those one more time. Monday is number 1. President is number 2. February, number 3. And George Washington, number 4. Now, just like as if we were in class, I want you to move your grammar page and your spelling page up into one spot. And you're going to pretend that that's the collection pile, but instead, Mom's going to put it in a folder to turn in next week. And now we are going to look at the spelling words for next week. And hopefully your mom printed out the flashcard page, and you can either cut them or your mom can cut them, and you can color them and work on them this week. So here is number 1, Valentine, and that is spelled Valentine. And we are going to end up doing a little story on Valentine, probably next week, because he was a real person. St. Valentine was a real person. So we're going to learn a little bit about him if you haven't learned about him before. Our second spelling word is heart, H-E-A-R-T, and I put lots of hearts up there because we always do lots of things with hearts in February for Valentine's Day. So make sure you color your heart really pretty. Number 3 is friend, F-R-I-E-N-D. And we always think of our friends and special people, our family, during Valentine's Day. So you can color your little picture of your friend. Or maybe you could even draw your own friend and color that. Number 4 is blizzard. I don't think we got a blizzard, but we got snow. B-L-I-Z-Z-A-R-D is how we spell blizzard. I don't know what it looks like at your house, but it looks like this guy got a lot of snow. And then finally, pink. And we see that color, that or red at Valentine's Day, and I thought this rose was so pretty. So P-I-N-K. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to do our writing, but I'd like for you to take a few minutes of a break and go get some water, maybe go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do, hit pause, and then when you come back, we're going to do our writing, and then you'll have your writing work for the rest of the week. So hopefully this is very similar to our class, and you'll have everything you need to be able to work hard this week. All right, so take your break, and when you come back, we'll get started. Okay, if you are back, then I assume you took a little break and you're ready to forge ahead with our new writing assignment, which is The Sheep and the Pig. And hopefully your mom has already gotten it out of your writing book, but you will need your sheep and pig story. So make sure you go to your writing book, and let me see if I can figure out what page it is for you. It is going to be, well, now I've messed up my thing. I don't know the page number off the top of my head. So go look in your, it will be the one right after the blue crab story. I think there's a Who Witch dress-up sheet there, but then the sheep and the pig is the one that we need. We're going to first read it together, and then we are going to do the outline. So let's begin. One day a shepherd discovered a fat pig in the meadow where his sheep were pastured. He very quickly captured the porker, which squealed at the top of its voice the moment the shepherd laid his hands on it. You would have thought, to hear the loud squealing, that the pig was being cruelly hurt. But in spite of its squeals and struggles to escape, the shepherd tucked his prize under his arm and started off to the butcher in the marketplace. The sheep in the pasture were much astonished and amused at the pig's behavior, and followed the shepherd and his charge to the pasture gate. "What makes you squeal like that?" asked one of the sheep. "The shepherd often catches and carries off one of us, but we should feel very much ashamed to make such a terrible fuss about it like you do." "That is all very well," replied the pig with a squeal and a frantic kick. "When he catches you, he is only after your wool, but he wants my bacon. Hee! It is easy to be brave when there is no danger." Okay, so we are going to, if you feel like you need to read that again, feel free to pause and read it again with Mom, but we are going to jump into our first keyword outline of the story sequence chart. Now remember, we have 3 mini outlines, and all 3 of yours are on one page. Mine are divided up on the slides. Now the first thing it asks us is, what is the setting? Who are the characters? Describe it. So I decided to add a little bit here. I put that the meadow was green and beautiful. Now you could add more. You could put trees. The sun was shining in. Maybe it was a hot day. Whatever you would want to put, you can even put it, give it a place. Maybe it was in Frederick. Maybe it was in Walkersville. Maybe it was in Africa. You could give it a place and add all the description that you want to. Beautiful flowers growing in the field, the trees, whatever you want to put to make it come alive to you is totally fine. Then with my second one, I decided to focus in on the characters, and I put sheep, field, watching, because remember, they were watching everything that was going on. And you could put this, or you could jump in and do the shepherd finds the pig first. So either put the sheep in the field watching, or shepherd finds pig, something like that. You can also give your characters names, just like we did with the crab story. So the pig, the sheep, and the shepherd could all have names if you wanted to do that. Then for my third keyword outline, I would suggest introducing the shepherd, because we've introduced the sheep. I put that he was gentle. The sheep seem to think that he is good with them, and so I put gentle, shepherd, pig. I don't think the pig thought he was gentle, but I think the shepherd is gentle with his sheep. So I decided to put that. And again, I didn't give him a name, but you certainly could do that. And then finally, I introduced my pig. And I put pig, squeal, fuss. So he's making a big fuss and a big to-do over all of this. So I wanted to point that out because he's got a real problem. And that's what we're going to look at next. So we're going to go to our next outline. Remember, if I'm moving too fast, hit pause. And I will put this PowerPoint up as well so you can just go through it without my voice on it. So now it's the conflict and plot. And remember, we talked about, like in fairy tales and in Cinderella's, there's a problem. And so the pig's got a problem, right? He's been picked up by the shepherd. He doesn't like it. He wants to get away. And so now we're going to tell that little part of the story. And so I began by saying the sheep laughed, wondered. Sheep are wondering what in the world was wrong with him. And so that's why I put wondered. But they're kind of laughing, maybe joking a little bit. Then next I put followed, curious, concerned. I think they're a little concerned at all the noise, maybe what's going on with our shepherd. And so they're kind of following along. And if I were to be writing about this, I might say something like, the sheep in the meadow laughed and wondered what in the world the pig was screaming about. They followed along, curious and concerned that maybe their shepherd was hurting the pig. So you see how I've taken those and I've made them into sentences. And then finally I'm going to put pasture gate, and I put why. Why is the pig screaming? That's what the sheep want to know. And then he gives another squeal. So this is kind of my climax here, the pig screaming one last time. And then finally I put, but the shepherd was gentle and kind. Or maybe I should put that he was firm in the way that he held the pig. Was he going to let that pig go? I don't think so, because that pig was going to be some good meat for his family. All right, then we move on to the last one. The pig shared fears. So now we finally figure out what is wrong with this crazy pig. Well, he shares his fears. He says, sheep, he only cuts your wool off when he carries you away firmly. The shepherd desires eat pig. So the pig knows what's going on here, and he tells the sheep, he's going to eat me. He's going to eat my meat. He's going to eat my bacon. And so he realized shepherd desires eat the pig. And finally, pig scream goes to market. So who wins here? I think that the shepherd wins by taking him off. Now, the moral of the story, if we go back to that page, it is easy to be brave when there is no danger. And that's very true. It's easy to say lots about how brave we'll be, and you could certainly put that in as your moral. You could add it. You could add a number 5 and add that. But once you have gone through, you can go through those slides again, and you can choose to use the words that I put in there, or you can choose to put your own in, but then you're going to be writing this week. So this is all I have for class for us today. If you have questions, or if your mom has questions, she can email me And I hope that you enjoy coloring your spelling cards, explaining direct objects to your mom, and working on our pig and sheep story. And I will see you again in a video on Wednesday, and then I'll get to finally see you in person on Thursday, and I look forward to hearing some of your stories. So until then, you guys have a great week.